Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She is in the house, and we're always excited, Coach, when you're here. We just want to welcome you to the stage. And this is Coach Caren Fern from Profits in Daily. What do you have for us today, Coach?
Today, today we're doing a big one. We are doing something that I had started a program, start creating this program, and I thought I'd bring it and talk about it a little bit before I
Okay.
actually package it up. And I did a little briefing with
Oh,
a
we get to preview?
yes, and
We
so
are so honored.
and so
Well, I'm sorry.
I turned it into this 4 week series that we're going to go through. And it's good too because I get to go back and look at these videos and see how I pace myself, see what it's going to be more than what I'm talking about here, of course, because it's big, but this is just a little sneak preview. So we're going to be talking about becoming a happy millionaire. And we're going to do it in a 4 part series. We're going to talk about acceptance. We're going to talk about inviting your future self. That's part 2. I'm going to give you all 4, and then we'll go through them, and then we'll talk about thanking your future self. And now what? Because I find the biggest bottleneck is when you go through something, and you're like, sort of, what do I do? And so everybody says, well, the program taught you what to do, but did it really? I want you to know what comes next. So just like a little taste of what you should be expecting when you buy a program, when you go through the program, how you work yourself through the program, and then what comes next.
Mm,
Because sometimes we're not able to work at a pace like everybody else, and we feel left behind. But when you understand what comes next, you know that even if you're a week, 2 weeks, a month behind, you know what comes next for you. And so that's what
mm.
we're going to talk about at the end. So today
Okay.
we're talking about acceptance. And we look at it, all this we're talking about is money. Yeah, we're diving deep and thick into money this month. That's what we're talking about, guys. It's the first quarter. And when we start getting things right in the first quarter, even if we don't get everything done, we know that we've been planting the seeds. I've got like a 3 year plan. I got what happened the first year, all 4 quarters, what happened the second year, all 4 quarters, and this year what's going to happen. So this is the 3 and the 5 year. And of course, I can't share it before the 3 years done and the 5 years done, just so you get an idea of when you're doing this stuff, how and what happens. Even when you think nothing is happening, things are happening in the background, and
Oh,
your business is growing and moving. So we're going to answer some questions here. We're going to dive deep into money because if you get your first quarter right, even if you don't make money, but you understand how you make money, what you do with your money, how you grow your money,
mm-hmm.
you can have your other 3 quarters catching up. And I promise you, if all you make all year was 25 or $50,000 in your business, I don't want you to feel bad because that will tell you and teach you what your second and third year should do in becoming a millionaire,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then start making a list. If you started early in January, sit down with yourself and see what got accomplished and what didn't, and what you can do for February. And same for March. Keep yourself accountable. Stay focused. All the noise and everything that's happening in the world is happening in the world unless you can contribute towards it. Stop getting into argument, fights, and debates. Focus. It's a distraction. Yes, it's bad. Yes, it's not good, but it's also a distraction. I just
That's
want
so
you to know that
true.
part. It's very much so a distraction. So good. So we're going to talk about today for acceptance. When we look at the acceptance part of it, we're going to talk about this money grows on tree. I know it's old, it's a saying, but I want us to talk about it. Why you can't purchase, why you feel you can't purchase certain things. Like what's stopping you? We're going to talk a little bit about that. And what the rich can afford that you think you can't. We're going
Mm.
to talk a little bit about that. Because when we
Okay.
start understanding us and what we do, when we buy something, we stop being hard on ourselves if we didn't use it, if we put it away for later, or if we think we couldn't afford it. So I wanted to touch into that base. And so
Oh,
the first slide we're going to talk about is what I just said, becoming a millionaire. That's a series. Becoming a happy millionaire series. I want you to feel happy about making money. I want you to feel happy about charging for
mm-hmm.
your goods and services. And when people say no, you can put them in the category of never know, or not right now, no, or an eventually yes. You categorize them. This will allow you to go after them. This will allow you to see, to decide if they're worthy to keep pursuing, and you get to categorize them rather than feeling, oh my gosh, they said no. Oh my gosh, they want, nobody want to buy my stuff. Oh
Mm.
my gosh, what am I gonna do? Like, I want you to get out of that mind space so you can focus on the things I want you to focus on to grow your business. Not for me, but to grow your business, your company, to develop your entrepreneurial skills far and wide and deep all together. Now, everything's not going to happen together, but a little bit at a time. All right. Sometimes
Okay.
I got to remember to slow me down too, to go fast. The more you slow yourself down, even in
Mm-hmm.
my speech, the more I slow down, like I was going at a rate, I can feel myself getting really excited and going fast. The more I can slow me down, the better I get there. When I
Oh.
decide that I can do two or three things a day really well, life is better. When I have 10, 20 things that I think I have to do,
Mm-hmm.
life become chaos, and I rarely get 1 to 5 things done.
Okay. So did we want to put the slides up now or?
Yeah, we can put the slides up and walk through them. I think I'm going to do slides up, walk through them. Um,
Okay.
Ignore what's at the top because I don't know why it's not allowing me to just slide it without it, even though I am seeing it without. So
Hmm.
I shared it, you see the top, don't worry about it. Let's just talk about the slide. Let's not let the distraction take us away from what we want to talk about.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do because that's what today's about. Let's not do that.
Okay.
All right. So, becoming a happy millionaire series. Part one is really and truly acceptance. Accepting yourself for who you are right here, right now, in this space and time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about what didn't go well, what didn't happen before, or if you had decided to become whatever and it didn't happen. Those are just stepping stones, okay? I want you to not
Mm-hmm.
hold on to that too hard because it just prevents you from the other things that you want to do. And I want you to stay in this joyous, happy, enjoyable state, even when life feels really tough. I want you to find tiny things to be happy about. You find those tiny things. I want you to list them down and keep returning there. Every time you have this thought, and this was number one for me, anytime you have this thought that says, money doesn't grow on a tree, I grew up hearing that. And and the truth is, it does. That's what I say. It does. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, even though Canadian money is made of plastic now, it can be plant based still.
Did you
So
say it's made of plastic?
yes, our money is made of plastic now. We doesn't have
Oh
paper money
my gosh.
anymore. Yeah, a couple years now. Oh my gosh, a couple years over. What,
Really?
5 years or 6? Yeah, our money is not.
Like, something, I don't know why I am amazed when we making money out of paper. So plastic paper is it's just a matter of what we're used to. You know what I mean?
Mhm. And so when you think about it, you're just thinking about what you used to. But our money is made out of plastic because of the counterfeit and of the counterfeiting was a big problem. We had a lot of $5 problems that was
Mm,
happening, and it didn't matter how they changed it up; it was still happening. And then, um, little after we got rid of all the pennies,
yes.
a while after we get the plastic monies. Uh,
Oh, oh,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm sorry. That threw me off.
that's
Okay.
okay.
All right.
That's okay. Yeah, so we got plastic money. So when somebody tells you that, I'm giving you the tools. That's what it is. When somebody tells you money grow don't grow on tree, you say yes, it does because even the plastic money is from a plant.
Uh-huh.
It's
Okay.
plant based, okay, and they
Mm-hmm.
process it to get it. So even making money, Everything is a process to get you where you want to be. So your journey is being happy and good to yourself while it's happening. That doesn't mean you have to be happy every day or you have to not be upset, angry, and frustrated. No, this is not what that means. It just means that you need to find your happy space.
Mm.
Find something. Mine right now is coloring, doing
Oh.
miniature. I'm doing miniature, a miniature office. I'm gonna build a miniature house. Like those intricate things takes my mind away from the big happenings at the end of the day. I have myself on schedule to fix a puzzle. Um, Maybe I'll start back into word search. Just different things that makes me happy. Painting. I just made 2 weeks ago. I did a baking night. I just got in the kitchen and I kick up a storm, just baking a whole bunch of goodies. Made me feel happy. Took some pictures. I carry on as though I had a show. I sat myself down and wrote 21 things to do as a solo date. Yes, even though you're married and you got family, you might want to do that for yourself because it makes you happy. It makes me joyous. In
Mm.
those solo dates, I don't have to ask who want to see which movie or if we should go here. I just go. And I do it with intention. So when I'm there, I'm making sure I'm happy to be there. So if anything disturbed me, if I was taking the bus and it was late, I was taking the subway. If I took a cab because I'm not driving at the moment. So if I'm doing any of those things, if the cab was late, I'm okay with it. That was when I'm supposed to be there. Same goes with the bus. I smile with the bus driver. I have a conversation. If I'm taking the subway and somebody need help getting in, I would help them because it keeps me feeling really good
Mhm.
about where I'm going even before I get there. And if I was going to the bookstore, then I'm going to enjoy walking through the aisles. Yes, I know I can get Audible. Yes, I know I can buy the book online, but this is experiences that I want to have for myself. So it goes in my 21 thing that makes me happy and joyous.
Oh, okay. I love that. I really enjoy doing puzzles, and
Hmm.
I enjoy sewing. So
Yeah.
you're saying do the things that relax us and make us
Yes.
smile, and
Yes.
yeah, give
Yes.
us joy. Things that give us.
Yeah. And so you have this thing to look forward to
Mhm.
while you're doing because everybody knows this, even though they don't maybe consciously know it. But some part of them knows it. When you're busy doing the thing you love, the thing you want to do or hard to do seems to become easy over time.
Mhm.
If you were having a hard time, I was telling my assistant the other day that if you're having a hard time doing the Pacific thing that she was doing that was giving her a hard time, I'm like, let it go, take a breather, go for a walk, come back, and it's not as hard anymore. Let's
Mm.
let's figure the steps that is puzzling you because I don't want you to feel frustrated, worried that you're not gonna have this experience anymore with me because what's going on. No, 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 no. You're gonna have it. We've signed up for this, but and I'm not looking down on you. I'm not no, 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 no. You're gonna be okay. You need some deep breaths and you put too much on your plate one time. I want you to take one or two items, turn it into 5 steps, and then get it done.
Mm.
And in less than 30 minutes, the thing that was poking at her, you know, was done. She got back to me
Wow.
like, it's done. Okay, because you know what you're doing. I was not worried about you. You know what you're doing. So you're good. So get in there and I want you to do that. So that's one of the things, that's the biggest thing. And I want to read you this little blurb that I have here set up to talk to you about because it's just going to help you to understand more so where I'm coming from when I talk about these things. It's really going to make you want to hear me. Accept yourself for who you are, then work on the things that you'd like to improve on. That's the acceptance
Oh.
speech. That's it. Accept yourself for who you are, then work on the things that you like to improve on.
Mhm. Mhm.
One of the things that we have to work on is the discipline of our minds and what you let in. That's why I said we got to be careful with the distractions because once you let it in, the mind just like to observe things that feels easy to rally around
Mhm.
and and like if a friend, even myself, my friend and I, we had developed that when we were young in our marriages. Like Are you calling to vent, or are you calling to complain about something? And what are we going to do about the something you're complaining about, so that we know to handle each other and give the best help we can, versus bashing. Because once you get off the call and then you got some insight from her and you spill all you wanted to spill, now for the rest of the day you're whining about what you could have done differently and all of that. But it was a vent, you get it out your system. So when you self remind you, you get to say, oh, I called my friend and we vented about it already, so I'm just going to cook, or I'm just going to clean up my room, or I'm just going to get back to the studies I was doing, or I'm going to go for a walk. Whatever it is, you can leave and do, because it's out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay for you to release it out of your system and move forward. I had to realize this for myself as well. Okay.
All
I
right.
had to realize this for myself as well. I repeat that because it took me a moment to do it. And every now and then it revisit and I have to remind myself, what am I really doing with this situation that's happening to me? Because this affects you, whether you like it or not. It
Mm.
affects you. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So let's pull up slide number 2 and we'll talk about slide number 2. There's number 1.
Well, now we're on plants can be plant-based.
Yeah. We're at number, why is it? Is that there's a lag that's happening? I wonder why.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lag that is
Well,
happening.
I can take it out and you can go back to the window and move it and we'll
Yeah.
put it back up.
Do you see it? Do you see it? Why do you feel you can't purchase that thing?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, we don't see it. So I'm gonna take it out
Okay.
and you can, what do you call
It's
it?
playing hooky today with me.
Here we go.
Let me see if it let me see if it will let me do
What
this.
I'm looking at is this Becoming a Happy Millionaire series,
Right?
and the money's in his hand.
Okay. And then number 2, let's see what happened. One trees, and then slide number 3.
Maybe there is a lag. Let's see.
Yeah, there probably is a lag compared to what I am seeing.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it out.
Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk then.
Okay, and while we're waiting for it to change, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
there it is. I was just talking about, why do we think we can purchase whatever it is we want to purchase at a time? And
Mm-hmm.
so if you're building to become a millionaire and you feel you can't buy things, this might want to throw you back and say, well, what's the point? You know,
It does.
and,
Mm-hmm.
and it really makes you feel like I'm climbing this hill, but I'm never getting to the top. And that's what it wants you to feel. But I beg of you, I pray for you, don't feel that way. It's just challenges. It's just going up the steps. I know we walk and we feel great, but when you were a child and learning to walk, 6 steps look like a lot versus 2 steps. And that's what's happening when you start a business, or you're a young married couple, or you just start a job. Everything feels like this large, this forever mountain that you're climbing. And the
Mm-hmm.
truth is, you got to pass step 1 and 2 to get to 3. And the same thing, becoming a millionaire happens the same way. I talked about previously how we plan ahead and all this coming to fruition. If you want to be a millionaire, yes, you can be a millionaire in a year, but what would it take of you? How much would you have to put in, especially if you don't have the experience yet? So I'm not saying don't think big, but you can plan to be a millionaire in 3 years versus 1 year. And if if it comes out that it happens in a year, great. But if you plan for 3 years, you've got a little more leg room, right? You can build up the
Mm-hmm.
first year at 250,000 or even 100,000, and that's okay. Even if you start at 50,000, you still understand, because the key is when you get it and you really get it, you move faster. That's why slow pulling back help you to go faster. When you get it, when you truly get it, when you bake a cake, I'm going to talk a little food scenario here. When you go to bake a cake and you never bake a cake, it feels like the hardest thing to do. And then you bake a cake and then you feel you great. And then when you learn to stack a cake, you realize that what the shows that you watch, the reason they come with the cake baked already, they're not baking it there. Don't worry what you're seeing. It's because the cake needs to cool. The cake needs to be formed to stack. You
Mm-hmm.
can't, those soft cake don't hold up. It's just facts.
Oh,
It doesn't hold up. No matter how much straw you put in there, or holders, like the cake has to be a certain kind of body in there, right? That's why a
yeah.
lot of time people do sheet cake, and they have the cake just for show, uh, depending on the statue that you're building. Cakes are baked in way in advance and get stacked. And I knew to bake cake, I knew to ice cake, but to do it professionally, when I start taking classes, and my professor started talking about baking in advance and stacking and the texture and showing us the different types of cake to stack versus just the cake to bake and ice and eat without putting it in all those heights. It's a total different game, right? And it's fascinating to take a class and watch yourself grow. I took a class, started at the bottom, you know, and behave as though you don't know. Don't go in there worrying if you can bake a cake, because if you do, I find the people who came in saying I can bake a cake, I think didn't learn as much. And the professor said, as the people who came in and said, hey, I can bake a cake, yeah, but I really don't know how to do this stuff. And now she was
Uh,
able to take us through the journey, you know,
mm-hmm.
101, 102, and all the way up to whatever was the advanced classes. And I took them all because I really wanted to see what happened with a wedding cake and how it's not only stock, but how it's transported to the wedding and all the pieces that get put together. Because everything is not done before it gets there. The
No.
baker gets there and start doing things, right? And so you got to think about yourself that way. You're going to be a millionaire. You're going to be at the wedding. You're going to marry to the man of your dreams. And so before you do that, all the things that take place. So you want to be a millionaire. How much hours a week you're going to have to work? Would you have to work
Mm-hmm.
overtime? What are you giving up? What can you give up this year that you don't want to give up next year? And if you give up enough of it this year, are you still going to be healthy, functioning, and able to simultaneously talk to a family member, talk to a friend, help out in a certain situation, and not be snapping at people because you've been on this crazy journey that you put yourself on
Morning,
to
Carlos.
satisfy you?
Mhm.
That is not going to be satisfied at the end because you're too tired and worn out.
Carlos is in the house.
Hi, Carlos. So that's why when I talk about it being happy, it's not about happy, happy, joy, joy every day, but just understanding the things that keeps you and keep you surviving to get yourself there, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you want to get there feeling good about yourself. I know when I make good money and I'm feeling good about, I don't want to make money and be sick in my bed. I like to make money and feel good about myself.
Yes.
Take breaks, take rest. All those things are built into my schedule towards whatever I'm claiming and working towards consistently. And I take big breaks. I tell people I'm off half of December and half of January.
Mm-hmm.
I take a month off and just rejuvenate myself. Just rest, watch movies, go do nothingness for
Mm-hmm.
myself because I know I work hard during the year. And so I want to give myself that time. So plan well. Do what you're going to do, but make sure you plan well. You got pennies right now, don't worry about it. Whatever it is you want to get, you can get there. Okay? This is just temporary. Everything is really so temporary, even when we're fighting for wherever we're fighting to get to. Right now, if you broke, you just temporary broke. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to stay broke. You can work towards what you want to work towards. It's going to take the time that it needs to take. We've got Chat GPT and all the other things right now, and they're helpful. They're great. But if you can't ask great questions, what do you get?
That's true. That's true. You have to
Right?
ask the right questions.
Yeah. So give yourself that chance to ask the right question. And anytime you sit back and you watch talk about what the rich can afford, but you can't afford it right now, and think about it right now versus I can't. You can't afford it right now. And
Mm-hmm.
then ask yourself too, do I really want to buy a car for 100 and something thousand dollars? If that's not what you want right now, go buy your 30, 45, whatever car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just be
Mm-hmm.
sensible about it and make sure you buy it in the best possible light. When I say that, I really mean for the business, why you're buying it, if you really, really need a car, or if you have other family members that a car is not an everyday thing for you and you work from home, do you really need a car right now? Or are you working towards this other thing?
Well, Carlos has a comment here. He says, to I don't want to be happy. I don't want wedding cake. I want peace and fast forward to a time where money isn't anything. Oh, I love it, Carlos.
That would be nice. But right now that's not where we are.
Oh, wow. That is a beautiful thought. And I think that's what we're all striving for.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you have it, or you comfortably where you're now waiting for the necessity of life, because let's face it, some people, that's where they are right now. Shelter is
Mm,
a big thing. Food is a big thing. While we might need that, there is people who that's where they're at, and they want to get to what we're talking about. And
mm,
so this plays a part in their becoming what they want to become. So you got to discipline the mind, got to watch the stuff that enters in. This is bigger than you want to believe or think. It really is. If you go down that road, it is harder to pull yourself back up, always and always. I always say to people, I used to tell my young sister that, I said, you're not worrying about money because she used to be that way for a long time, because somebody else is filling your need. That's why you're not worrying about money. It's not because it's not being filled. It's just that somebody else is doing it.
that is so true.
So
Mm-hmm.
you get to
Especially
say,
with our
I don't worry
children.
about
Yeah.
money. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if I don't have money. But somebody else is paying that bill for you. And when anything happens, you got people to reach out to you. So that's why you can say that. Once you're now taking ownership for that, you realize it's a different story. And eventually, yes, we might need money for anything, and that would be fabulous. But right now, we know we need money to get the things we need to get, to do the things we need to do at, at a certain point, especially when there's emergency,
Yes.
when there's emergency. So, and this next slide, really, we're coming to the end. So I just want to finish up with this last thought. Get uncomfortable to get comfortable. I
Mm,
really believe this is so true for me. And I'm not telling you that you never should be comfortable, but a little uncomfortableness is good for the soul. That's what I believe, because it makes you move, it makes you go after what you want to go after, and it helps you. And when you feel uncomfortable with earning big bucks, realize it means we are getting comfortable with a new tool. That's what money is,
oh,
ultimately a new tool, a new part of the tool. Maybe you're comfortable with a screwdriver, but not with a paintbrush. So maybe you're comfortable earning X amount of dollars, $50,000 a year, 75,000 is hard for you to accept, even though you said, I like it and I want it and I need it. It might be
mhm.
hard. And it's showcased to people, it's showcased to you that it's hard to accept that kind of money when you get it and you spend it all out or give it away. And I had people tell me over and over, Karen, why would you say that? I would never give away my money. Well, I watched them do it, not because they didn't know what to do with their money, but crisis come out. And they're helping people who say, I am not going to do this, but I'm going to come to you for it. So then they're giving it away because they told somebody, and somebody decide how they're going to get the money from them. And so now they're back to square one. I not going to get into people's stories, but that is just matter of fact. And not one or two people, several people that I've witnessed that ask for more money, get
Mm,
more money, and then they either give it away, but they don't see that they're giving it away because they're doing something kind and good and nothing is wrong with that. But then they feel that they're back to square one because there was no plan and no direction.
I witnessed that recently. Yeah. It's just unbelievable.
So that's what I have for you today. Today we talk about becoming a happy millionaire. It's a series, and today we're covering acceptance, and that is acceptance again of yourself, where you at, what are you doing, and just like I read off, just pay attention. Just pay attention. That's all I can ask of you is to pay attention when you say you want something. Accept yourself for who you are, then work on the things that you'd like to improve on. Don't condemn yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace and just move to the next thing. Because every day when you think you didn't do enough for yourself, you're beating out 99% of people that is not doing anything.
Wow.
There's a bunch of people that is doing nothing. They're just complaining. And
That's
you're doing
true.
something. You're doing something. You're getting up and you're looking after, here's where I'm at. Here's what I'm going to do next. Write it out, mop it out, give yourself those year, 3 years goals, and then work diligently on it. Don't lie to you, not me, not Terry, or anybody else. Mother, father, husband. Don't lie. Just lie for yourself. Just say, here's where I am, and here's where I like to be, and this is what I'm doing to get there. And then do it. Actually do it.
Wow. Well, guys, look, if you, this whole thing of becoming a happy millionaire is important. I love that happy part.
I
I
like it.
love that happy part. Oh my gosh. Guys, if you're looking for Coach Caren, you can find her at Profits in Daily on Facebook. Also, you can set up an appointment with her. Here is the link. She is just full of wisdom. And I don't know what to say other than, you need to book an appointment because she will show you how to bring those profits in daily.
That's what we're in
Oh my
business for.
Oh my goodness. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of this series. Wow, that was good.
Thank you.
Acceptance. Start
Yep,
where you are
there
and
you
don't
are.
get upset if it didn't happen overnight. Okay. All right, everyone. We want to remind you if you want to become a part of Biz Chicks, simply text Biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net.
That's
We'd
yes.
love to share with people what it is you do and how you serve.
Hmm.
So, with that, we want to remind you that we're here tomorrow with happy, healthy habits. That's a tongue twister, huh? With Robin Shimizu and friends. And Friday, we'll be talking tech with the Biz Chicks. But in
Yes,
the meantime, remember, you can be a happy millionaire. So tune in for more information from Coach Karen. We
I
love
said.
you, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye, everyone.